Hi there, I'm Brandon, and welcome to a Focus Energy Production interview. So today we've got Ron Waterfield, who is the author of Creating the Extraordinary You, as well as he's also created, I believe it's 4 additional books in regards to just this one, yeah.
Yeah.
In
8 total.
8 total. So Ron is also the owner of Executive Winners, where he does coaching to help businesses. It can be relationship coaching. It can be all sorts of coaching and different sorts of things to help create an extraordinary you, which is what the book's about. Ron is also the owner of Twilight Music, which has been in business for, I believe, almost 3 decades. Is that
more
right?
Than that.
More than that.
Yeah, 42 years.
42 years. So I was off by about
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
So 42 years. Wow. Well, why don't we get started? We're going to talk a little bit about the book that has been recorded here. It is Creating the Extraordinary You. I had the great pleasure of narrating this book, so I know I certainly learned a lot when I read it the first time, and then of course recording it and stuff like that. It was certainly a great journey and super life-changing. So let's get into some of the questions here. Ron, what guided you to put together this book?
Well, it actually happened probably about 30 years ago.
Okay.
And with this book was that I had 2 girls, and when they were 12 and 15 years old, it was, okay, we need to teach you some new ideas. Now, for them to learn from their dad, that doesn't work. It goes in one ear, out the other. So we said, okay, let's do it as a book form. And so different ideas came up. They were saying they're having problem with time management, or they're stressed out over school. And so we said, okay, let's do a chapter on stress management. Let's have a chapter, instead of having a groggy day or having a day where you wake up and you're, I don't want to go to school. We said, here's a chapter on how to have a terrific day every day. And it allowed them the opportunity, instead of thinking that it's come from their dad, it was like, oh, well, here's an article, maybe, but what they didn't really know was that was my article.
So you were essentially implanting these articles from the book into your girls' minds so that they could receive it in a different way.
Exactly.
Because you're right. I mean, I've got 2 kids, and I know when I ask them to do something, when it's dad, it's dad.
Yeah.
It's not some, high level source that they're saying they're receiving it from.
That's
so that
right.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about some of the services, because on the website, if you look on there, Ron does workshops, and this is actually part of one of those packages that you can get. Tell us a little bit about a workshop. What happens if I'm a corporation, or a small business, or even just an individual, and I want to sign up for one of these workshops? How does that work? I've seen this as obviously one of the course material on it.
Yes.
How does that work, and what does that do for people? How many days, costs, all that sort of stuff?
Usually any of our workshops are a 2 to 3 day event. And again, it all depends on what they're looking for. If it's time management, usually that's a day and a half.
Yeah.
And that includes your book, it includes your workshop book. We're doing on Zoom, on a one-on-one basis on Zoom, or we can actually do it where the client can come right to our office. So it's allows them the opportunity of making their own choice of what they want. But when we do get together with them, it's a way that they really get the information.
Right.
They're not having a classroom, there's 55 people, and they're all, just like being in school. You raise your hand and hopefully you're getting the answer. Instead, they get that answer right away. So if they have any concerns, or, how do I do this law of attraction, or how do I do time management? The answer is just like that.
Yeah, and then that's great. And of course, I'm going to assume costs vary depending on how many people are involved or anything like that too. So costs can be found on the website?
Definitely can, yes.
Awesome. And that being said, Ron has launched his new website too. So executivewinners.ca, you can check that out. There's going to be some links in the description as well. You obviously, if you're watching this, you may even see it on the website, as well as every other platform out there. So talking a little bit about the book, there's definitely some different chapters in here. There's chapters on exercise, there's chapters on time management. One of the chapters that stood out the most for me was knowing what you're worth. And when you go through this, some of the time you look at your life, and I think you it's easy to look in the mirror and to say all the negative things about yourself and to be the most critical of yourself. And I think one thing I learned from your book too was, and I got in a pretty good habit. I mean, we've known each other since 2006, and we've been friends for a long time and stuff like that too. So a lot of ways that I had changed the way I thought and the way I talked are illustrated in this book. And like I was getting at, knowing your worth, when I read that chapter, that just reiterated that you have to know what you're worth. Sometimes we downplay ourselves, and our friends and family will say, no, you're doing great, or good job on this, and we still don't think we're enough.
That's right. Yeah.
Did this come from some personal part of you where you had went through some of those transformative stages?
And and this is the neat thing how this book came around, was that this is all life experiences. And also, like I said, thousands of books that I read, and studied. But what we also found out is that there's a lot of things that happens in a person's life that they'll have their ups and downs. And when they get their downs, you're supposed to learn from your downs. And if you're not learning from your downs, then you're back in the same routine over and over again. So when we look at the chapter, Getting What You're Worth, what we have found was that we have a lot of our clients who stand in front of a mirror and they think, and they're automatically degrading themselves. Oh, look at this, look, I got a chin, or I got a belly, or whatever, instead of seeing what's really important, which is inside. Mm-hmm. What is your life's worth? And so what we also do is teach people about the integrity, as well as, when you are in front of a person, what is your time worth, as well as what are you worth to that individual? It's not about you. Mm-hmm. It's always about the other person.
Yeah, and then that makes a lot of sense. And the other thing that kind of brings up into chapter 4, getting out there, was about networking. Now, I noticed in there too, you could, the cool thing about this book is you can see integrity woven throughout the book. When you go to a mixer or a different networking event, don't have any hidden agendas. Now, that's one of the things I remember stood out to me in this book, mm-hmm. because you do see a lot in the self-help gurus, in everything that's going on today. I mean, you could be on YouTube right now and you could be inundated with tons of ads of the next guru that's going to change your life and everything like that. And for the most part, we become this generation of consumers that we want those fixes. We want to change our lives and stuff like that, but it takes time. And the one nice thing about this is, obviously in book form, now in audiobook form, it's a quick read, it's a quick listen to. It's something that I know I've personally experienced. Ron's done it for obviously decades and done the workshops and stuff like that. What would you tell the people watching right now, about what they are gonna personally get out of this book? Because to them, it is about, hey, I want to create the extraordinary me. Why am I special? What's the purpose? What's this all about? What would you say to them, just talking to them about what they're going to get out of the book?
Well, the biggest thing that they are really going to get out of this book is a better knowing of themselves. And when they see what they can achieve, the lights are going to turn on and they're going to go, wow, I could actually have this. And with our coaches, what we do, we actually sit down with them, and even besides the book, teach them how to be that extraordinary person, on the way, maybe how your time management is, or how you deal with stress, or how do you deal with your partner, and when they're yapping off or complaining, and it's sort of like being that that person where you're just constantly complaining, right? Lots of words for a second. But what happens is that we want to show you and teach you new ideas that you can put in your tool bag, because virtually that's what it is. This is only one part of your life, and if we can help you be more in tune on what's going on, or even be a better person, then I've done what I had to do.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense. And I mean, on that note, you got one extra tool in your tool belt. You can find the book at executivewinners.ca. What's some other outlets that you can find this book as well?
Mostly on our website now. Or if you're doing coaching on a one-to-one basis, you can actually get the product right from our office as well. So
if you haven't found it there, obviously, you want to make sure you're getting a legitimate copy. You know, we all know how copyright works and stuff like that. Support the author. This in turn helps Ron to bring up more content, to bring up more stuff that's going to benefit people and really expand on all the knowledge he's gained throughout the years that he's going to give through the workshops, through more online stuff, which is fantastic. Now, the other thing too, obviously it's always nice if you've stayed this long, there's obviously, you know, a little bit of a benefit in buying the book today and having watched the interview and stuff like that. Ron, what does this cost a person if they were to buy it? And is there any specials that you could do for, you know, the folks watching?
You betcha. Specials are always important. You know, we always want it, well, what's our best deal? So what we have done is the book usually goes for $50. And so what we have now created is a brand new product called the inspirational cards. And with these cards, you can also get this for the same price, for the same purchase. And with this, it allows you to inspire yourself on what you need to work on for that day. So we take the cards and spread them apart, and then you virtually take it up to your chest and say, okay, what do I need to work on? And then at that time, you reach in, you grab that card, and whatever it is, that's what you need to work on. So for me, it says today, how much money do you desire? So I can desire anything I want. But what happens, it teaches you that many people out there on money, they always work on the lack of money.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have money. I can't do this. I got bills. And what we're sharing with you is that if you have a mindset that you're always poor, law of attraction will always provide you with not enough money.
Right, and we're talking about mental science here
Yeah.
too. You know, when you talk about holding up, putting that intention mentally out there, because when you focus on different things mentally, you're more driven towards that.
So true. Yeah.
Why don't I give it a shot?
Oh, fabulous. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab the book. You're going to
So
shuffle those cards.
It.
Yeah.
Okay. And these cards are going to be free with the purchase of the book.
Exactly.
Very nice. Okay, so I've got a bunch of them out there.
Put it up to your chest.
Okay, so I'm going to put it up my chest.
What do I need to work
Think
on?
about what I need to work on.
Got it?
All right.
Pull the card.
I'm going
Looking
to
at it, yeah.
pull this card. And I've got, you will experience more success, more happiness, more money, more confidence, more free time, and less stress when you quiet your mind with meditation. And that, you know, honestly, that couldn't be more true in a lot of ways, because for me, my mind almost seems like, if you've studied, you know, mindsets or meditation too, you hear about the monkey mind, where it's just this monkey clanging in your head. It reminds me of Zoolander, that movie when Ben Stiller's there. But it definitely resonates with me, and I'm sure these will resonate with you too. And the other thing, it's not going to hurt. You know, that's the one thing I always think about when I think about anything I found in this book. You're going to get a nugget out of it. You're going to find something that you're going to go, oh, I read that before, or geez, that really resonates more with me. So check it out, executivewinners.ca. If you want to sign up for a course, you can go onto Ron's website, again, executivewinners.ca. You can book now for your corporation. You can book now for personal appointments, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, with things having opened up now, there's definitely a lot of opportunity to book, but make sure you get in quickly, because a lot of companies are trying to get on, as you mentioned to me earlier. So please reach out to Ron. You can also reach him at info@executivewinners.ca. And Ron, is there any words you want to leave the audience with?
Just enjoy life to the fullest.
And on that note, make sure you do. I will talk to you later. Stay tuned for more awesome stuff. Also, be sure to check out the site of anything that might interest you. Take care, you guys.